Driver there does drop out.
Next up, we have got Conor Shanahan going up against Mikkel Overgaard. Ireland versus Denmark. Conor Shanahan in this S15 saying he's struggling a little bit with too much grip this event. He said he's not too sure. He hasn't had much practice. Mikkel Overgaard from Denmark, an amazing driver in that GT86 on the right-hand side of your screens. This is a battle that could go either way. You've got Conor Shanahan maybe with that little bit more of experience, but he's struggling with his car a little bit against Mikkel Overgaard. Very comfortable with his car, but needs a bit more experience. So let's see which way it goes. This is what happens here in Riga. It gets unpredictable from the off. Shanahan will be the higher qualifier and lead first.
Centre wheel Dave as Shanahan comes off the line. You can see Overgaard there shortcutting, spinning wheels through the chicane off the start line. Nice faint initiation there for Conor Shanahan as he goes very wide to the edge of the track. You can see the amount of grip he's got dialed into that car. It's almost very shallow angles. He comes flying down into that second outside zone. And Shanahan now starts to pull a big gap between him and Overgaard. Overgaard struggling for proximity as they come down up until the wall ride. Nice handbrake drag for Shanahan. Sets the car up perfectly for the outside zone. Just drops a wheel out of it. Stays in it though as Shanahan takes it across the line. Overgaard struggling with proximity, Dave.
Yeah, it just looked like, you know, we talked about Conor Shanahan. They said they've really worked on setup in the off-season, and it's been the longest off-season in the history of drifting, so they've had lots of time to get that car right. And it looks like his car was a rocket ship on that first section of the course. Overgaard was kind of in the middle of the track and still couldn't gain the ground. As you can see here, cutting the track again, still not making any inroads to getting close to Conor Shanahan. Conor Shanahan, though, makes one error. He comes into this last zone, so it drops in, and then look here, drops out of it again. So not perfection from Conor Shanahan, but maybe enough to take a small advantage over that run. You can see here the separation between both cars, and the average speed through the course, 78 kilometers an hour from Conor Shanahan, which is pretty high, I'll tell you, from that slow section at the end, balanced with that fast section at the start. Overgaard's going to have work to do here.
He certainly is, Dave, and he knows that, you know, Shanahan, he's got a reliable lead line. You know, he qualified higher in that Q1 yesterday, got himself in to that first qualifying session, only one run, got it done. So Overgaard knows he can trust Conor Shanahan as he gets pulled up to the line from our start line marshal. Shanahan visor down, cool, calm and collected as he stares across, looks at the traffic light and awaits a signal. Now, what he's got to do is glue it to the side of Overgaard's car, but we know, Dave, that's not an easy task at these speeds.
It's definitely not here, especially at upwards of 120 kilometers an hour. You know, it's a very scary first corner with no runoff. You make one error and it could be the end of your car. So you've got to take a huge balance of risk and reward here. And as you can see, Overgaard knocking over the cone. It looks like there will be a false start there. You can see the light going straight up as Overgaard knocks over the cone. A lot of people wonder, why are these cones at the start line? Well, essentially, the reason being, if you're new to drifting, is that it slows the lead car down. They have to do a little chicane before they get going, meaning they can't jump the light and get an advantage over the chase car or run away from it. And of course, giving the chase car every opportunity to get nice and close on the initiation or where they start the drift.
Exactly that, Dave. Yeah, this isn't a drag race, although it would appear these cars have the same horsepower and almost the same amount of grip dialed into these cars. So as we can see, Shanahan now makes his way back to the start line. Hopefully we get a clean start on this one from Mikkel Overgaard. He's eager to get it done. That's the thing, Dave. You know, you sit on that line, nerves start to build.
He also knows, Ian, that Shanahan's fast, so that little advantage there he tried to take. Unfortunately, the rules don't allow it. He has to, you know, pace Shanahan here, and Shanahan has to try and stay with him. Overgaard, though, we've seen him pull out incredible runs in the past. Wow, it's including this track in the past. And this is definitely not over and done with, and Overgaard will be coming at full throttle into that first corner, trying to shake Conor Shanahan here. And as they come through the gears up towards fourth gear, slamming it, Overgaard takes a big entry into that first corner angle, and Shanahan taking a shallower line here to stay with him. And he's on the inside of the track. Shanahan's got to watch he doesn't get caught. He doesn't. He transitions in there. They can see the proximity much better from Conor Shanahan, but he could get caught. He's transitioned very early. Shanahan, how they didn't make contact on the transition. Incredible stuff as Overgaard now goes out to the wall. Nice line from Mikkel Overgaard as Shanahan is stuck on the inside of the track here, making some errors, but Overgaard hits the wall and goes onto the grass.
Oh, and the tyre
comes off the car. Well, drama from the off. We've one guy hitting the wall and his tyre falling off, another making some mistakes. Shanahan doesn't look happy in the car.
No, and you know what, Dave? I'm not happy with Conor Shanahan's chase run, if I'm honest with you. Shallow angle, not the Conor Shanahan we're used to seeing. Look at this from Overgaard, very tidy line, nice and deep in the outside zone. Watch Conor Shanahan here, big wobble as he jumps back onto the door. You can see parts of Overgaard's car falling off as Conor Shanahan, I think, made a little bit of contact. Look at the line that Mikkel Overgaard took in, and then right at the end of the run, taps the wall, taps it again, the rim splits, the tyre comes off. I don't know what way this is going to go, because for me personally, Shanahan's chase, although Mikkel Overgaard didn't have the proximity in the first half of the run, Shanahan's chase was very scrappy.
And if you're Mikkel Overgaard, you're looking across and your tyre is chasing you down. You're going, something's wrong here.
What happened there?
Yeah, something's wrong here. But at least it happened right at the end of the run. But let's see which way the judges went. And we might have to go back to our head judge, Kevin O'Connell, for an explanation on this one. I think it'll be tight. Let's see which way the judges go at the end of the run. It is a one more time called from all the judges. And you know what? Seems a very fair call to me. Kevin, can we go over to you and talk you through that one? So much was happening. We couldn't make head nor tail. It definitely looked more solid over those two runs. And we go back to the one more time between Conor Shanahan and Mikkel Overgaard. And Conor Shanahan, it's not getting any easier out there for Mikkel Overgaard or Conor Shanahan. They're now back at it again. Nothing separated them. Lots of mistakes in their first battle. Let's see if they can clean it up here and have a good old door-to-door exhibition for the fans. And to be honest, both of these guys really want it. They really want to get through to that top 16 and stacking up. And it's unfortunate to lose anybody at this stage of competition. But Mikkel Overgaard maybe smells, you know, some blood in the water here with Conor Shanahan. Let's see what happens as Conor Shanahan will lead into that first corner.
Yeah, Conor Shanahan smashing through the gears there. 108, 125 kilometers an hour as he pulled the handbrake. And look at the separation now as Shanahan absolutely flies once again. No proximity from Mikkel Overgaard. He does stick to that qualifying line, but Conor Shanahan's very wide as he drops a wheel over the edge of the track, and it completely upsets Mikkel Overgaard. Shanahan looks like a wounded deer right now. That car's struggling to make it back into that outer zone as he comes across the line. That was a bad mistake from Shanahan.
It was, but you know, you can see the shake of the head from Shanahan. He sort of really wanted that outer zone, but he took too much of it. And you know, up until that point, he had a big advantage over Mikkel Overgaard. He was absolutely firing through those first. And I mean, Conor Shanahan's not going to know that Overgaard is a couple of car lengths behind. He's not in the fight, but you can see it here. The initiation, I think he got up to almost 140 kilometers an hour here, Shanahan. So he's one of the faster drivers through that first section. As he now transitions, everything's looking good. But just when he transitions here a little bit late and a little bit fast, he's way outside. Jumps up. But you know what? It's only a wheel off the track. And again, this is another little error. Just a couple of handbrakes to get it back going again. Overgaard, is it Shanahan slowing down that upset him, or did he just make an error of his own? Again, the judges will decipher that and break it down. But you can see from the reaction of Shanahan, he wasn't impressed with his own performance there. So yeah, let's see what happened in the car. And again, this would have been a fairly dramatic bump when he came over that, you know, off the track there. It's a very vicious car. Watch this on the transition. Look how it hits him when he hits it. Look, oh, very violent on the steering wheel, and as you can see, he has to try and get back on it again. It's not perfect.
No, it's far from perfect. And Conor Shanahan knew that. You know, we see his reaction. You'll see it again right now as he crossed the line, already shaking his head. Slams that car into another gear and just drives away, and he knows
it was spectacular either. So I think we could be looking at it all coming down to this second run.
Yeah, certainly can. So off the line they come. It will be Mikkel Overgaard to lead, Conor Shanahan to give chase, and now Shanahan knows he has to put in the perfect chase. Right now they come through the gears. You can see Shanahan jumps onto the back bumper. Nice initiation, clean from both from Shanahan. Shallows up the angle though as Overgaard throws on nice angle into outer zone. Look at Shanahan's chase though. Shallow, very shallow is Shanahan, but he has the proximity. Oh wow! Shanahan almost forces Overgaard. Oh, he does. And there was contact on that transition. Shanahan's car takes a big bit of hit there.
I'm not sure what happened there. He definitely hit him. They definitely hit him pretty hard. And
now, did Shanahan force Overgaard into that, you know, curb
I think
section?
If you look at the body language from Conor Shanahan, I think he's making his own decisions here that it was his error. He did straighten up. Maybe something happened in the car that made him straighten up. But yeah, I think he got lost in the smoke once he had the collision there and just had to shut off. I'm not sure what happened.
Dave, the dive was so it was so brave. It was unbelievable. And Overgaard, yeah.
And again, let's have a look at it again. It looked to me like this one, Conor Shanahan absolutely, you know, dialed up to 100 on aggression. But watch the transition up here. He dives in very late. He's very fast, and this is where it all goes wrong. He jumps up on the inside, and something happens here where he has to dial off. Now, if you look at Overgaard, he's still drifting. He's still going, but not. He's got a lot of damage on the back of the car, and Shanahan has completely shut it down. So, you know, Shanahan, if you look at it technically, it completes the run. Overgaard does not. That could be all that the difference is.
Exactly that, Dave. And you know what? Here we go. So we're going to see an onboard from Conor Shanahan's car. We're going to see exactly how the contact was made, where it was made, and what happened. I don't think the contact was as hard as what it seemed, because he dived straight down the side of the door. So look at this. Overgaard, very nice line. Conor Shanahan super aggressive on the transition. And look at that. Oh, he just literally tapped the door. So he just literally tapped Overgaard's door. It did force Overgaard wide.
And he goes off the track. So
and I think just that contact forced the front bumper under the front wheels and upset Conor Shanahan's steering. Such a shame. The aggression.
I'll give you one thing. It was one hell of a dive.
It was
definitely. I think Conor it is Mikkel Overgaard from Denmark going through to the top 16. Conor Shanahan eliminated.